Why is she always talking about God? Why every time I come to her page, is God this, God that, da-da-da-da-da. Well, guess what? Today's your lucky day because I'm going to tell you why I believe in God and why there isn't anything anyone else could say or do to ever make me doubt God or lose faith in Him. So let me preface this by saying that I grew up in church. My dad's a pastor. My great-grandfather is a pastor. And so literally fresh out the womb, I was on the pew. When I was in the womb, I was on the pew. But that is not the reason I believe in God. There were some experiences and some encounters with Him that I had for myself that truly led me to follow Him and to place my faith in Him wholeheartedly. So let me not even make this super long. I know you got things to do. I got things to do. So reason number one, I was 16. I was down. I was depressed. I did not want to be here anymore. You couldn't even get me out of bed in the morning. There were truancy officers outside of my house asking my parents where is she at because her attendance is so bad because I was not getting up for anything. My parents could not get me out of bed for anything. And so there was one night in particular, I was crying myself to sleep, as I often did. And God let His presence and His peace settle upon me. And He told me, first of all, I need you to breathe because I was crying so hard to the point to where I couldn't even get good oxygen in. And so He told me to breathe. And after I calmed myself down, I took a second to breathe. He revealed to me that there were some things that I had come into agreement with that I did not have to. I did not have to accept depression. I did not have to accept anxiety. I did not have to accept any of that. I was sitting over here dwelling on the negative aspects of life and wondering why my life was so negative. Duh, because that's what you're dwelling on. And I'll back that up with scripture, Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. God told me that if I just flip my perspective even just a little bit, God told me if instead of me focusing on the negative things, focus on the fact that you woke up this morning. Focus on the fact that you have breath in your lungs, that you have the activities of your limbs, that you have a roof over your head. Focus on the fact that you have parents that love you, that you have a car to drive. Focus on the fact that I sent my son to die for you in your sins so that you may not perish but have everlasting life. God told me if I just took a second to focus on what was true, what was pure, what was admirable, then my perspective and my outlook on life will completely be changed. So from that point on, when I woke up in the morning, I chose not to dwell on those negative things and I chose to be thankful for the things that God had did for me. Reason number two, I was praying about something, and I won't get into the specifics, but I was praying about something on Saturday night. And I kid you not, the next morning, Sunday morning, I had not said nothing to nobody about what I had prayed about. That was between me and God. But God spoke to me through my dad that very next Sunday morning, and He answered the exact thing that I had prayed about the night before. And it wasn't even a simple fact that He answered my prayer or He said that these certain things would come to pass. It was a simple fact that, God, you're real. Because how I didn't even say nothing to my dad, and He spoke to me about the exact thing that I prayed to you about. That was reason number two. And you would think like that would be the icing on the cake, but no. I kind of took my own route, took a little detour for a little bit. I was in college. I was living in a college apartment. I had roommates, and I was just looking around. I was like, okay, all of these people are doing all these things. All these people are drinking, smoking. Everybody's got having their boyfriends over, whatever. I was just like, okay, let me partake in that a little bit for myself. First mistake. I wanted to fit in and be like the world so bad that I was willing to compromise on all of my morals and values just to fit in and be young and do all the things that everybody else was doing, right? And so that's what I did. I had a young man that I was talking to at the time, and I remember I invited him over. We drove around for a little bit. While we were driving around, I don't know if I can say smoking on here. I already said it, but he was smoking, and we'll just say he was smoking lettuce, okay? We all know what lettuce is. He was smoking lettuce, and he offered me some. And like I said, I was willing to do whatever because I just wanted to fit in and be like everybody else so freaking bad. And so I was willing to do whatever. And so I was ready to accept that. But God spoke to me in that moment. And He told me, I remember hearing Him. I wasn't hearing Him so well before, so clearly before. But I remember Him telling me, do not smoke. And I couldn't explain it. We drove around and I was like, I'm surprised because you said that you were willing to do anything, but it was that one thing in particular. God told me, do not smoke. And I kid you not, that next morning, that young man that I was speaking to had passed away. And if it was not for God speaking to me and telling me, not to do that, I would not be here right now. And so, yeah, I talk about God a lot. To be honest, I don't even talk about him enough. Because he's been that good to me. He's been way too good to me for me not to say anything to nobody. And if this is something that you're questioning and you're debating coming to God, or you're doubtful of God, or if God is even real, try him out. Give him a chance. You won't lose anything from giving God a chance. In fact, you'll gain a whole lot. Now, he's not going to come off of his heavenly throne and say, hey, I'm God, here I am, get a load of me. He's not going to do that, because that wouldn't be faith, right? But I will say that just like God met me where I was and all of these different encounters, God will do the same for you. So I just implore you. I just encourage you to talk to him. Get to know him for yourself. And I promise you, you won't lose anything. You'll gain everything, in fact. Just try him out. But yeah, I hope that wasn't too long. Yeah, y'all have a good day. Peace.